Good morning. Oh, it's good to see you. Good to see you each and all. It's a special day in the life of our worship cycle. Every year, we have this particular special day where the youth, the high schoolers among us, come and lead our worship service. This is an opportunity for our high schoolers to get some experience on the stage that we find so important to our spiritual growth and development here. Yeah, that's one thing. The other thing is, as an intentionally multi-generational community, it's our good practice, adults, grown-ups, to sit down every once in a while and to listen to the voices that are telling us where to go now, where to go next. So, if we spend this time together right, we will all listen and lead with a whole lot of love. And your opportunity begins right away. The hymn is 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. The text is by Rumi. I invite you to rise. Let's sing. Okay, if you know it already, help me teach it. Here we go. Come, come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet. Let's do that part again. Come, come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, love of leave. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again. The poet wrote another line in that poem. And if you're feeling in a drone sort of mood, I invite you to this one. It's real easy. It goes, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, though you've broken your vows. It helps this way, yes? Though you've broken your vows 1,000 times. All right, tune. Come, come. Keep going. Come, come, whoever you, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. One last time, everyone. Come, come. Come, come, whoever you are. Though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, though you've broken your vows 1,000. Here we go. Come yet again, come. Thank you. Once tempted to panic over where we've wound up or where we've yet to arrive, we are choosing to calm down, to unify our hearts, to circle our spirits around the call of love.
We are giving isolation a break and resting for a while in the warmth of community and common purpose.
We are putting down our hidden weapons.
We are picking up the courage to tell the truth to each other and look each other in the eye.
And love with an infectious, unexempting love.
We are getting serious about joy and laughter and singing and kindness and unity.
Because within them lies more power to change the world for good than division could ever hold. We mean to mean something to this day, which has come to mean life for us.
Welcome to First Universalist Church of Minneapolis. If you have come expecting perfection, I encourage you to change your mind.
But if you have come to find a place with a people who want to build a community where no one is too young, too old,
Too queer, too hetero,
too black, too brown to matter,
too white to get woke,
too wealthy,
too poor,
too disabled to lead our common journey,
too ineloquent to have a voice,
too timid to make a difference that shakes the status quo,
then
you have found just the place.
Love is alive here and growing in our hearts and hands.
And our love is excited to make room for every single one of us, here and beyond.
Come, let us celebrate. Let us choose the truth and joy.
Let us comfort and keep each other for a while.
And may the power of what we realize in this time come to heal and inspire us.
Put all our pettiness to sleep.
And awaken in us the fullness of our compassion instead.
We begin our service with singing, with some words to center us. And now I invite you into another set of practices. We breathe together 3 times on your own time, and we'll make space for us to arrive more deeply here. On your own, let's breathe. Let's light our chalice cup with the flame, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism all around the globe and across time. Before we do that, though, would you raise your hand or somehow give a signal if you helped to light the chalice this year or did any reading? Yes, I see you. Yes, we're going to give you a big round of applause for appreciation for your, thank you. Thank you for keeping the flame alive to this moment. And now, Mar, if you would help us by lighting the chalice, let's say the words we use as a covenant to keep us together. Love is the spirit of this church. Service is law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Thank you. Let's sing. The hymn is Blue Boat Home. Would you rise? Online folks, if you didn't hear that, we got woo at the... Standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have
like to invite all children, their caregivers, and children at heart to come forward and join us near the chancel for a story. Okay. The Kissing Hand by Audrey Penn, illustrated by Ruth E. Harper and Nancy M. Leake. Can everybody see? Okay. Chester Raccoon stood at the edge of the forest and cried. "I don't want to go to school," he told his mother. "I want to stay at home with you. I want to play with my friends and play with my toys and read my books and swing on my swing. Please, may I stay home with you?" Mrs. Raccoon took Chester by the hand and nuzzled him on the ear. "Sometimes we have to do things we don't want to do," she told him gently, "even if they seem strange and scary at first. But you will love school once you start. You'll make new friends and play with new toys, read new books and swing on new swings. Besides," she added, "I know a wonderful secret that will make your nights at school seem as warm and cozy as your days at home." Chester wiped away his tears and looked interested. "A secret? What kind of secret?" "A very old secret," said Mrs. Raccoon. "I learned it from my mother, and she learned it from hers. It's called the Kissing Hand." "The Kissing Hand?" asked Chester. "What's that?" "I'll show you." Mrs. Raccoon took Chester's left hand, spread open his tiny fingers into a fan. Leaning forward, she kissed Chester right in the middle of his palm. Chester felt his mother's kiss rush from his hand, up his arm, and into his heart. Even his silky black mass tingled with a special warmth. Mrs. Raccoon smiled. "Now," she told Chester, "whenever you feel lonely and need a little loving from home, just press your hand to your cheek and think, 'Mommy loves you. Mommy loves you.' And that very kiss will jump to your face and fill you with toasty warm thoughts." She took Chester's hand and carefully wrapped his fingers around the kiss. "Now, do be careful not to lose it," she teased him. "But don't worry. When you open your hand and wash your food, I promise the kiss will stick." Chester loved his kissing hand. Now he knew his mother's love would go with him wherever he went, even to school. That night, Chester stood in the front of his school and looked thoughtful. Suddenly, he turned to his mother and grinned. "Give me your hand," he told her. Chester took his mother's hand in his own and unfolded her large, familiar fingers into a fan. Next, he leaned forward and kissed the center of her hand. "Now you have a kissing hand too," he told her, and with a gentle goodbye and "I love you," Chester turned and danced away. Mrs. Raccoon watched Chester scamper across the tree limb and enter school. And as the hoot owl rang in the new school year, she pressed her left hand to her cheek and smiled. The warmth of Chester's kiss filled her heart with love and special words. "Chester loves you," it sang. "Chester loves you." The end. And now you can return back to your seats. Thank you.
On Youth Sunday, we mark many transitions, and one of them that we're going to mark this morning is that our beloved youth coordinator for over 10 years, Emma Paskowitz, will be leaving us at the end of the church year. And so I want to invite Emma to come up onto the chancel with us. Emma's going to go and be with that adorable baby and with her family, with her dad. So she's doing important work. She's going to dance away with a smile, just like Chester, I hope. But first, we're going to put some love in her hand. We're going to symbolically do that together right now. When somebody says goodbye, there's a moment for us to pause and let them know what we have witnessed in them in the time that we've been blessed to have them in our life. And there is so much that Emma has brought to this congregation, so many qualities that have made her just the perfect fit for us, that have made it possible for us to do amazing ministry with our youth. One of those qualities that I have always appreciated about you, Emma, is I was trying to figure out what's the quality I'm going to choose, because just one, I gave myself the challenge, and so I cheated a little bit, and I came up with generosity. Because, Emma, you are generous in so many ways with us. You are generous with your time. You are literally generous with bringing coffee for us and donuts. But most of all, Emma is generous of spirit and generous in the way that she witnesses us. There is always room for another friend in Emma's world. There is always room for a deeper understanding of what's moving, what's happening in somebody's life, whether they're thriving or struggling. There is always generosity to bring more people into the circle, and it inspires all of us to do the same. Your presence has made us a generous youth community, and for that we are grateful.
You got all that?
Yep.
Lauren, you took so many of the words. That was many one words. We don't have any tissue up here, so I'm going to try to hold it together. Emma, what I want to thank you for is embodying a spirit of warmth and welcome, and teaching me what it means to try to be the adult that I needed when I was a youth. Over and over and over, you have shown that to me. You have demonstrated that for me, and in doing so, you have embodied what I hope all of our youth experience in religious education, that spirit of being met by, as one of our youth said this morning, adults that they can look up to, maybe, possibly. I have loved working with you, and I am so excited and moved by the ways that you are listening to where love is calling you and following that heart. Thank you.
So now we're all going to get in on this. We're going to build a word cloud together. Up on the screen here, you see this prompt, Emma is. And if you have a phone in your pocket, you can participate in filling this screen with words that describe our beloved Emma. To do it, you just go to menti.com, menti.com, and then it will ask you for a code, and that code is 86565148. It's tiny on the screen, so I'm going to say it again, and then your neighbor is going to tell you if you didn't get it. It is 86565148. If anyone has binoculars, you can see it up there at the top. Menti.com 86565148. These are words that we use as a congregation to describe you, Emma. These are qualities we see in you that we treasure, that we will miss, that we will seek to embody. Lovelies. That's full. So we'll be printing that and framing it beautifully as a parting gift for Emma. You know too that when a youth in particular, but Emma, you get an honorary youth gift today. When a youth moves into a different relationship with the congregation, they receive a chalice pillow. So of course, Emma will have one of these to take with her. And thank you, loves.
Yes, we do, Emma. We love you. Thank you. So it is that point in the service where I get to invite those amongst us who are in 5th grade or younger, so 5th grade or younger, to head out to your religious education classrooms. If you are older than that, you get to hang out in the sanctuary with us. Congregation, it is the time in our service. Forgive me, I'm either fighting off a cold or suffering from allergies. It's that time of the year when I can't ever quite tell which it is. It's time to make room amongst us for that spirit of life that is always moving within and among and beyond. And I'm aware that there is a new energy in the congregation, in the sanctuary this morning, as this is the first time in a long time that we have gathered like this without masks. I'm reminded of that story attributed to many traditions, good news, bad news, who can say, right? But it is undeniable that it feels different to be together. It is also undeniable as we move to one service that the two sanctuaries, or the two congregations, if you will, are coming together, and I have seen so many instances of people pointing at each other going, hey, I remember you. I remember you. Oh, you're still here? I'm still here too. So I invite you to just take a minute to take in where you are and when you are, to look around. It's okay. Feel free to turn around to see who's behind you, who's beside you, who's above you. Hey, folks in the balcony, we know you're up there, holding it down. And I invite you to breathe in this moment. As humans, as mammals, as my friend and colleague Susan Raffo once reminded me, we learn a lot by smelling where we are, by smelling each other. Don't go there, y'all, come on. But really, making Dr. Glenn Thomas laugh. Achievement unlocked. But really, take a minute to really let yourself notice what your senses are telling you. What do you feel? What do you smell? What's it like to have the air in this sanctuary, if you are with us in person, move past parts of your face that have been mostly covered in this space for years? It's really okay to let all of that in and to notice whatever it is that comes up. And as we get more present in our bodies and in this moment, I invite you into a time of prayer, a time of meditation. Maybe putting that hand that holds the love of your people up to your face. Maybe putting that hand that holds the love of this congregation up to your face, if you're open to bringing it in. opening, opening, breathing. Spirit of life, Spirit of love, we are grateful. Grateful for the many reminders of your presence within us and among us and beyond us this day. Grateful for the warmth of sunlight. Grateful for enough strength and health that we can be aware in this moment. Grateful for all of the ways that we are sustained. And all of the opportunities we have to sustain each other. Help us to remember on this day the many blessings in our lives. The blessings that sit right next to the challenges, not obscuring, not taking away. Just knowing that each of our lives contains multitudes. Help us this morning to bring forth and offer into this community those things that we carry, joys and sorrows, and the everyday things that we are neutral to. Help us to bring forward what we would like help carrying, what we would offer into the care of this congregation. I invite you to speak aloud, to hold in the silence of your hearts, or to type into the chat if you are with us online those things you would like to lift up in worship this morning, that we might hold them with you. And we pray together that the grip of addiction be loosened, that the weight of oppression be lightened, that joy break through, that truth be told, and that love make every suffering bearable for us all. May it be so, and amen. And let us sing Spirit of Life together. So, dear ones, each week that we gather, we make time for the spiritual practice of generosity. Right now, we are in a time where the congregation needs your generosity. As you may or may not know, we are in the final weeks of our annual giving campaign. And we still have about $400,000 that we are trying to raise, and about 200 households that we are still hoping to hear from. We've had many conversations with people of late where people say some version of, "Oh crap, that's sitting on my desk under a pile of mail. I totally get it. If you saw my stack of mail, same. So if that is you, please send it in as soon as possible. If you have questions about making your gift, if there is anything that any of us can do to help you to get that gift in, get that commitment into us, please let me know. Now I want to let you know about this morning's offering. This morning's offering goes to support youth leadership opportunities. In particular, this morning goes to support our youth in attending and representing this congregation at our General Assembly happening at the end of next month, at the end of June. If you're not aware, this is a big General Assembly. You might have heard that there is a vote happening for the president of our association. There is also a vote happening on some really fantastic work that some of our youth have been involved in related to Article 2. Article 2 is the part of our UUA bylaws. Okay, really, stay with me. It's the part of our bylaws. It's a lot more exciting than that. That articulate those 7 principles that so many of you know and love, as well as our sources of faith and why we exist, what our purpose is as an association. So it is a big deal, this coming General Assembly, the things that are going to be decided on, and it is an amazing opportunity to support our youth in being able to go to General Assembly and be able to fully participate. And so I encourage you to please give as generously as you're able. I invite the ushers to come forward, and we get to hear some amazing music from some of our youth group.
People are wasteful, they waste all the food. People are hateful and people are rude. But God, I love some people sometimes, because people are very, very special. And people are impatient and they don't know how to wait. People are selfish and people are prone to hate. But God, I love some people sometimes, because people are the greatest thing to happen. I said, God, I love some people sometimes, because people are the greatest thing to happen. And people are people regardless of skin. People are people regardless of creed. People are people regardless of gender. People are people regardless of anything. I said people are people regardless of gender. People are people regardless of anything. And people are my religion because I believe in them. People are my enemies and people are my friends. I have faith in my fellow man, and I only hope that he has faith in me. I said I have faith in my fellow man,
Good morning. My name is Neela Hammer, and I'd like to share about something that commonly happens in my life, which I'm sure that many of you can relate to. When I talk about my religion and spirituality outside of this church, I'm often met with skepticism or questions about what exactly it means to be Unitarian Universalist. Sometimes it feels hard for me to explain the huge part of my life that is my spirituality to other people because I don't know how to put my thoughts into words, and I worry that by trying to make it easily understandable, I will undersell the value of religion in my life. Everyone who asks me about my religion is expecting just a quick explanation, but I don't know how to give it to them. Here's what I wish I could say. Being Unitarian Universalist means a lot of things. Sure, when I was younger, it was just a place I went and saw my church friends every week. But as I've grown up, it's become more. This past fall, I had the opportunity to go on the pilgrimage to Boston with other youth and church leaders. While we were there, we visited different UU churches, walked around Walden Pond, explored the city, and learned about the history of Unitarian Universalism in a place where it's much more prominent. It was truly a transformational experience for me because I felt so connected. In Boston, the roots of our spirituality are everywhere. We learned that many well-known figures like Henry David Thoreau and Louisa May Alcott were actually Unitarians, and we saw UU churches that were hundreds of years old. One thing in particular that I remember from this trip is that our Airbnb was very small. We had 14 people, and the kitchen table was clearly meant to sit 8 at the most. So as you can imagine, our dinner and worship each night was just a little chaotic. One night we made tacos, and we all had to stand up in a circle and move around the table by stepping at exactly the same time. I remember standing shoulder to shoulder in front of the bowls on the table and someone counting 1, 2, 3, step to the left. And we were all laughing and bumping into each other. Then we sat in a circle a few feet back from the table, sharing chairs and benches so that we all could be together. It was crowded, but I only remember it being funny and heartwarming. Creating community was important to us, even if it meant sacrificing some of our individual comfort. This is how I see our church. Not only do we create space for everyone, but we do it enthusiastically. When there are not enough chairs at the table, we make accommodations so that everyone can be welcomed into the community. Church is a place where we all recognize the value in each other and act with incredible care and hospitality. A differing array of beliefs is not only tolerated, but celebrated. I think of my beliefs as a continuum rather than something solid because they are constantly changing. What I believed in elementary school changed a lot when I was in coming of age, and even that has changed in the past few years as I have changed. When I was younger, I didn't think much about my religious beliefs, and I didn't view church as a big part of my life. In 9th grade coming of age, when I wrote a faith statement about what I believed in, I focused on the ways that writing had helped me through hard times. Now I do see myself as a religious person. I love coming to church because it brings me peace and comfort, and I know that I believe in something bigger, even if I can't name it. So my identity as a spiritual person is constantly evolving, and how I see and interpret the world changes as I grow up. This community holds space for that change, for all of us. Here we acknowledge our beliefs as a wide spectrum, but we find common ground in our passion for community and meaningful connections with ourselves, each other, and the universe. Some of us believe in God, and some of us don't. Some of us live and breathe religion, and some of us leave church behind us after Sunday services. Some of us exist somewhere in the middle. This is where it is impossible to explain a whole congregation or a whole religion in the span of a few seconds. And this is where it is beautiful. We cannot be easily explained, but we also cannot be contained. When I think about the ways that being UU has shaped who I am, it's not tangible. Maybe contrary to many people's ideas about religion, Mine is not a part of my life because I participate in any specific rituals or practices. I see my UUism show up in the way I walk through the world. I think that I am able to act with more generosity and care for other people because of everything I have learned from this church. By participating in religious education and attending services, I've learned to recognize the inherent worth in all people, to open my arms to new people, and to always look deeper than the surface. Though the effect of church on my life cannot be measured, it is there. Being UU means we are ready to act, we are ready to stand up and speak our truths with love and compassion in our hearts. So this is my commitment to myself. I will speak my truth even when it seems hard. I won't be afraid to talk to people in my life about my spirituality, and I will trust that they truly want to know about something that is so important to me. And I encourage all of you to try something similar. When you feel like you want to speak up or share something important to you, push past the fear and do it. Here at this church, we value our interconnectedness and our inherent worth. We recognize that everyone's ideas, including our own, hold power. By finding the courage to share our truths with love and compassion, we are making a commitment to enact our beliefs. We carry the flame of Unitarian Universalism in our daily lives by using our voices, living out our beliefs, and unapologetically being ourselves. We carry the flame by supporting each other with loving hearts and open minds, and we recognize the power in our voices, both individually and collectively. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Mar Connors, and I'm hoping to share with you about some of the ways that being a part of this community impacts me. So growing up is one of the biggest aspects of my life that has been augmented so greatly by this church. I started coming to First Universalist as a toddler, and I did not understand how much this community would impact my life. What I have found as I have grown to become a young person and have started to leave my childhood behind is that I walk through my life and interactions with open arms. In the way I am a part of UUism, I think of myself as a tree in a forest. In joining First U, my mothers and my community planted a sapling. I began to grow and learn more and more. I learned that people have differences and that people, even strangers, have the potential to become a part of your life. I also learned that my family, a family with 3 children and 2 moms, was not alone in the world. We entered this church with the hope that we would be welcomed, and we immediately were accepted into this special group of people that I now consider my home. Each time I came back to this community and connected with the other youth who I've grown up with, my branches grew, and I felt my roots become stronger, planting themselves in the earth of First Universalist Church. Each conversation I have sparked at this church, whether it be with my RE coordinators, my fellow youth, or even total strangers I have never met, has watered me and allowed me to change and blossom. This year is my junior year of high school. As the end of this time in my life grows nearer, I have found too that my roots feel stronger. Bonding and being mentored by my senior high coordinator, Emma, has strengthened my roots. Traveling to Boston with many friends from senior high has grown my branches. Working to comfort and teach children in the nursery classroom has allowed me to change and develop. But what I've noticed most about my community's impact on me has been how I carry myself in public. While growing up, I have found myself more confident. I have found myself proud of my smile and of my stance. I have found myself complimenting and helping people I don't know. My mom and I have a running joke that I will always talk to new people and compliment them, especially on their earrings, when I'm in public. And it is true. I always go out of my way to let people know that they are appreciated by someone, and know that my arms are open and my branches are extended to them. Until recently, I didn't know or recall where that instinct came from. I didn't know why I feel so connected to people or why I think everyone has good in them. But I think after some reflection, it comes from here. This church has always been behind me, supporting me as I learn new things and allowing me to become my own type of tree, even. What I know about trees is that they can feel one another. Their roots will bond and connect to one another and find each other in times of distress or change. I have felt that same thing here for such a long time. I know now, as I begin to grow even further from where my original sapling was planted, that my roots are still here and are still intertwined with all of yours. I know that even though growing up and growing can be scary and different, I will always have this community connected to me, and I will see the good and the love in everyone I am bound to meet in the next chapters of my life. Thank you.
hard. It's a hard. It's a hard. It's a hard. It's a hard rains are gonna fall. Oh, who did you meet, my blue-eyed son? And who did you meet, my darling young one? I met a young child beside a dead pony. I met a white man who walks a black dog. I met a young woman whose body was burning. I met a young girl, she gave me a rainbow. I met one man who was wounded in love. I met another man who was wounded with hatred. And it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard rains are gonna fall. Oh, what'll you do now, my blue-eyed son? Oh, what'll you do now, my darling young one? I'm a-going back out for the rain starts a-falling. I'll walk to the depths of the deepest black forest, where the people are many and their hands are all empty, where the pellets of poison are flooding their waters, where the home in the valley meets the damp, dirty prison, and the executioner's face is always well hidden, where hunger is ugly, where souls are forgotten, where black is the color, where none is the number. And I'll tell it and speak it and think it and breathe it and reflect from the mountain so all souls can see it. And I'll stand on the ocean until I start sinking. But I'll know my own song well before I start singing. And it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, and it's a hard rains are gonna fall.
Y'all are amazing. I'd like to take this moment to invite our senior high advisors to come to the chancel and stand to my left. Studies show that in order for youth to feel truly connected to their congregation, they must be known personally by at least 5 adults that they're not related to at church. These adults need to know their names, their pronouns, who's in their family, their talents, and the shape of their lives. They need to show up and show up and show up again for young people. That's how these threads of connection are strengthened into something reliable and trustworthy. Mark Caswell, Emily Murphy, and Barb Mercy, we are grateful for the ways that you show up and build these life-changing connections with our youth. Thank you so much for being senior high advisors this year. Your presence has truly been a blessing. You are now going to help us recognize our seniors, which is my favorite part of Youth Sunday. Dear ones, bridging is a UU ritual in which we mark our graduating seniors' transition into young adulthood. We have great anticipation for how you will shape and steward our religious tradition through the decades to come. Seniors, you have done so much for our church community. You have created so many milestones, and we've been part of that with you. Some of you were dedicated here. All of you went through 9th grade coming of age. And as teens, you've taken care of our young ones and taught religious education classes. You've traveled to Boston, and you've served or are going to serve as delegates at the Unitarian Universalist Association General Assembly. Let's give some shout outs to our seniors. As a class, you have wrestled with big questions, changing relationships, and a global pandemic that started in the middle of your 9th grade year. You've challenged each other and us as a church community to address white supremacy culture, to center our mental health, and to make time for play. You've cared for each other and in countless ways, and you are truly an inspiration to this congregation. And for me personally, you have provided so many rich memories, and you have really, really made my connection to this church so much stronger. I am really grateful to have learned from you, and I know all the adults in this congregation are as well. We love you so, so much.
This is a time of transition for our bridging seniors' families as well. Parents and caregivers, we're here for you as your youth take flight. Let in the joy and grief that live side by side at this milestone. Pause to remember and honor the dozens of volunteers and mentors who invested their love and care in these young people through the years. The journey is sweeter, safer, and deeper when our community includes folks who are older than us, who show us how to approach each phase of life with grace, wisdom, and courage, as well as folks who are younger than us, who remind us to play, ask questions, and imagine new ways, new dreams, and new models for a truly just and sustainable world. It takes a village to raise a child, but really all of us need a village. Parents and families, the village is with you in this tender time of letting go.
So, now we've come to the part of the service that our graduating seniors have been waiting for. We give you your chalice pillows. This year, our amazing chalice pillow volunteers, Karen Liebler, Judith Grittner, Marnie Peichel, Anne Frenchick, Marie Listopad, Jennifer Haynes, and Sarah McMullen, have sewn a beautiful pillow for each of our seniors. They stitched the rainbow strips of fabric together. They sat with needle and thread and embroidered a flame. At every step in the process, they added love for you all. In addition to your chalice pillows, we will present you with a rose. We want you to recognize this rose as a symbol of your unfolding beauty and that we are with you as a church community. At this time, I would like to invite all of our graduating seniors to come up to the left side of the chancel and wait at the bottom of the stairs or the bottom of the ramp. We'd like to invite you to share with us your name, your pronouns, and a word or phrase of hope for your fellow graduating seniors. After you've shared your name, please walk across our chancel, your bridge, and stop to receive a pillow and a rose from Barb and Emily, and then stand facing the congregation on the right side of the chancel. We'll make room. Samantha.
Hi, I'm Samantha White. I use she, her pronouns. And one last thing, I guess. I hope you can find joy in the little things in life.
Hi, my name is Mishak Mandel, he, him pronouns. All I have to say to the graduating seniors are, we made it through a pandemic in the toughest growing period of our lives. We can make it through anything now.
My name is Nixie Clifford. I use he, it pronouns. And to my fellow seniors, I hope that you continue to keep your minds and hearts open.
Hello, my name is Everett Stephen. I use he, him pronouns, and my one-word wish for all of us graduating seniors is connection.
My name's Pearl. My pronouns are she, her, and I guess my word is joy.
My name is Noah, he, him pronouns, and my word is love.
Graduates, these pillows are the embodiment of our love for you and a reminder that you are guided by principles of faith that are tried and true. You are held by this community wherever you go. When you're feeling lost in life, or lonely, or joyful, or troubled, or nostalgic, give this pillow a squeeze. Hug it, and we'll be hugging you back. May this pillow be a touchstone to keep you strong and tender, compassionate and brave, wondering and reverent in the days to come. You are not alone, and you are beautiful. Let's give our graduating seniors lots of love as they head back to their seats and/or maybe get some photos taken real quick.
Hello again. So for a lot of us in senior high, one of our favorite parts of the services is when we all sing together. I don't know what it is, but group singing is just so fun, and we also like to sing in our own small group before we all go our separate ways. As you may remember, we all used to sing the song Go Now in Peace in services and in RE classes before leaving. This year we had to make a little switch and stop singing that song. In senior high, we were all a bit sad that we couldn't keep up that little ritual that we've done for such a long time, so we wanted to come up with a temporary replacement that we could all jam out to every week. And after racking our brains for a good 30 seconds or so, I suggested, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And who would have guessed, but I actually led us in singing that lullaby at the end of that one Sunday, and we actually never stopped. So ever since that weekend, we always sang Twinkle Twinkle at the end of every Sunday, and we thought that we should bring that tradition here to Youth Sunday as well. So if you know the words or even just the tune, feel free to sing or hum along with us as a way to finish off this Sunday. 1, 2, 3, 4. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. was beautiful. Thank you.
Wow. That's easily the most beautiful I've ever heard, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Easily the most beautiful. Way to go. Now, let's join this tradition with the tradition that we hold in this room. We go out with a song, and that song is particularly special to us. Where you go, I will go. If you don't know it, you'll know it in a minute. Rise! Everybody, where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are mine. You're divine, my divine. Here we go, groove time again. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. The other good news is that there's cake in the social hall. Go in peace, my friends. What did I miss? Oh, under the tent. Under the tent or in the... What? It's both? God, there's cake everywhere. You get a cake and you get a cake. Go in peace, my friends. Amen.